From the mill on the campus of Noblesville High School, Hamilton County Television and Hometown Sports proudly present Hamilton County Basketball. Good evening, everybody. My name is Brad Silbert. I'm sitting aside Craig Atkins tonight. It is the next to last day of the long Thanksgiving holiday weekend. I hope everybody out there has enjoyed themselves and had a great weekend of football and basketball or whatever else has been going on. We'd like to first of all thank all of our great hometown television and hometown sports sponsors. Those include Ivy Tech, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, Mark Hairbrandt, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, and Indiana Restoration. Craig, here it is Saturday night. Hometown Sports already have one game in the book today, as you well do, as the Avon Orioles were here earlier this afternoon and visiting the Lady Noblesville Millers, and unfortunately for the Millers, they came up in the short end of the stick. Probably going to be a little bit different in this game tonight. Tonight we have the second of our Indianapolis teams coming in to visit us in the form of the Howe Hornets.
Yeah, the Howe Hornets the past few seasons, Brad, have really been on the upswing, and thanks to the at the helm is Mosey Barnes. He also serves as the athletic director at Thomas Carr Howe High School, and it's they've had a really athletic team the past few years, 13-8 in 2013-14, 18-4 2 seasons ago. Last year they went 23-8 and were the 2A state runner-up, losing to the Lapel Bulldogs. And they bring back some players from last year's team that have that long state tournament run experience, and looks like during warm-ups here they've got a lot of speed.
They sure do. Well, you talk about a Mosey Barnes team, and you have to think about the days that he was at Indianapolis Northwest here about 5 or 6 years ago. They had some tremendous teams. They were one of the top-rated teams in 3A basketball in the state of Indiana. And I think Barnes has just taken that and moved it over to Howe. Howe, of course, is a school that a number of years ago, IPS actually had that school closed down for a while. Yeah. And then they redistricted, redid some things, and reopened. And it's kind of like one of those processes that all of a sudden, hey, we are back again, but we got to put all these athletic teams back together. And it looks like Mosey has been really able to put a really, really good team together here. Let's take a look at the Millers. What can we say about them for tonight?
Well, they go with the same lineup as they did Wednesday night when we saw them on Thanksgiving Eve. They'll go a 3-guard lineup with 12 Corbin Burtons, who had a pretty decent ball game on Wednesday. And then Max Flincham, who dropped 28 on the Northwest Space Pioneers. And then 3-year starter McGuire Plummer in there at the 3rd guard, along with number 40, Nolan Ginther, and sophomore 42, Grant Gremmel, the other forward. And they put together a pretty good effort against Howe the other night, starting off 12-2 in the first quarter, and then they just kind of spread the game out from there, winning by 25, 70-45, and kind of getting some different bodies in there. We got to see Ryan Barnes on the basketball court. He played a little JV last year with Noblesville, but we obviously saw him on the gridiron this fall in his first year as a starting quarterback here at Noblesville. And
of course, you always have concerns for a guy like Barnes going from football to basketball because he had an injury this past year, and different injuries affect athletes differently depending on what sport they play in. And we had the pleasure of being able to see Ryan get his first varsity points the other night. He managed to get a free throw right at the end of the game to get himself into the record book. But the two guys I'd like to really talk a little bit more about, Craig, are Max Flincham and McGuire Plummer. Between the two of them, 41 points the other night, with, as you said a little bit ago, Flincham having 28 points. He was just on fire on Wednesday evening, and it just seemed like he could do no wrong. And my prediction for this game is if the Millers have any kind of a game, anything like what they had the other night, and Plummer and Flincham are on like they were the other night, there's going to be trouble in the there's going to be trouble for the Howe Hornets. Of course, the Hornets come in here; they're a 2A team, so their expectations against the 4A team probably aren't quite as high.
Well, they'd obviously love to come in here and upset, if you will, a team in 4A Noblesville, and a team that's got the tournament experience, the lengthy tournament experience they had going to this 2A state championship game last year, helps them out a lot. And while Noblesville's got, they've got some key players back this year, it'll be interesting to see how this kind of newer mix of other players, like the Gremmel, Ryan Barnes, that whole mix, Xavier Hines, they all mix in and get their taste of these speedy kids from Howe.
Well, the 7 seniors that Coach Brian McCauley brings back are definitely an asset to this team, and I would really expect, especially in the HCC, that they will be competing right down to the end, possibly for the conference championship. They only lost 3 seniors last year to graduation, but they did lose 3. They did lose 3 big names, but when you've got 7, seniors on a team like this, it really does tend to make a lot of difference.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Having a three-member senior class last year just means that obviously, like you said, that much more came back this season, and this makes this group that much more seasoned of a group of veterans as we get set to tip. Looks like a not very tall Howe group out there, the Hornets, but they're very athletic. And the tip is won by the Hornets. They come back. They've got it here going left to right. It's going to be Kyle Washington going left.
2-3 zone for the Millers, just like they used on Wednesday.
Rashawn Rush back out top, now left side, left corner, off the hands of Jeff Salter, and the first Howe Hornet turnover back to Noblesville.
Salter thought he had that, took his eye off of it for a second, it just slipped right through his hands. I think he was lining up a shot before he had the ball.
He like another player Wednesday, got distracted by cheerleaders. Back the other way comes Noblesville, right to left. Now it's Ginther, Plummer.
Offensive foul.
Yep, is that Grant Gremmel? Yep, an early foul on Grant Gremmel.
Yeah, that is not a good sign. It looks like the referees might be looking at calling this one pretty tight tonight.
So a turnover apiece so far. We're about 30 seconds in. Craig Atkins with Brad Silbert. Glad you've joined us this Saturday night of Thanksgiving weekend.
3 on the way.
No good.
Good save there by Gremmel.
Gremmel saves that into the hands of Plummer and back the other way. Mertens looks. Has room deep left, but no, up top to Flincham. They know Max Flincham can shoot the ball, and it looks
Flincham
like
with that hot hand on Wednesday night.
Yep, Joe Rush all over him, not letting him move. Ginther goes up and is fouled on the shot. He'll go to the line shooting. He's going to get 2,
and that one's going to go against Tony Hopkins.
Number 11, Tony Hopkins.
Hopkins, a 6'4" junior, and we'll see Nolan Ginther try and sink in the first point of the game.
The line for the Millers, number 40, Nolan Ginther, 2 shots.
Ginther had 7 points on Wednesday night.
Back of the iron, no. He'll get another. Off the mark and rebounded there by number 5, Jeff Salter. And stolen, picked his pocket, did Corby Mertens.
Mertens did a nice job of getting that ball away from him. I don't think he even knew it went away.
Right out of Mr. Salter's dribble. Plummer, down low, Ginther, up, over, and off the glass and in. And it's 2-0 Noblesville.
So the Millers strike first. taken right out of the hands there by McGuire Plummer.
Plummer with the steal right out of Rashawn Rush's hands. And the ball was spiked.
Are we going to get a technical foul on that also?
I believe so.
Personal foul number 2, Kyle Washington.
Nope, there'll be a personal foul on Kyle Washington.
Also a technical foul on number 2. Counts as his second personal.
Yep.
Yeah, they did get him for the spike, shall we call it.
Coaches.
I don't think that first one was a shooting foul, though.
No, the first one was on the floor. I think it was out just off the left elbow.
Flincham gets his first points of the game.
3-0 Noblesville. He'll get one more here.
And the big thing is the Millers get possession of the ball, too.
Yep. 2 shots and the ball out.
A little bit of frustration
30
on
seconds.
the part of Washington.
Yep, Mosey Barnes decides to call a timeout.
Say, fans, Ivy Tech prepares Indiana residents to learn, live, and work in a diverse, competitive environment. To answer any questions on enrolling or general information, visit their website, www.ivytech.edu, or give them a call, 317-921-4300. Craig, I think that was a very well-timed timeout by Mosey Barnes. I think he sees a 5-0 deficit. He saw some frustration among his players, and he needed to just let them chill for a few seconds.
Well, and this isn't the way they want to start. This is their first game of the season, and it's not the way they want to start their basketball season out, going down possibly 6-0. As now Noblesville has possession after that in a back door, and Max Flincham has 4 points from the nice pass, the bounce pass to the right block. Flincham has 4 off that bucket, and it's 6-0 Noblesville 2 minutes in. And there's that 6-0. Yes, very timely timeout, just because you need to regroup. After kind of a little attitude stint there by Mr. Washington, as now he has 2 fouls, a personal and a tech. Tech counts as a personal.
Washington drives. No, that wasn't Washington. Sulzer. He gets the bucket.
Bucket is good.
Personal foul, Noblesville 23, McGuire
Plummer picks up his first, second team foul.
So Sulzer going to go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Nothing but net.
Cuts the deficit in half. 6-3 now. 2:20 into the ball game and up the court. Oh, that ball is stolen there by Joe Rush, and he passes to Rashawn Rush. Ginther the board.
Good reaction by Nolan Ginther to grab that rebound.
And no pun intended, but that shot by Joe Rush was rushed.
Yes, it was.
Plummer looking. Drives it himself. We got a travel. Ooh.
I didn't quite see that.
It didn't look obvious. So back the other way. Second turnover for Noblesville. 2 apiece now for each team. Noblesville settling in that 2-3 zone that they kind of stymied Northwest the other night. 3 from the corner by Sulzer. Got it. He'll tie it up.
3-point basket. Number 5, Jeff Sulzer.
He's got all 6. Flincham guarded heavily by Joe Rush. I think they saw film on Wednesday night's game where they had a scout here for sure. Now it's Gremmel up top.
No lack of speed on the part of the Hornets here.
Flincham gets free for a 3. No. Gremmel skies for the board. Up and off the glass and in.
Basket by Gremmel.
Good persistence there by Gremmel as he got to the board and kept the ball above his head.
He gets his first 2 points of the game.
And it's 8-6 Noblesville. Howe back the other way. Joe Rush shoots the 3 with no avail. And the rebound by Sulzer. He stepped on the baseline. As the student section points out, Sulzer's shot was an air ball.
About 2/3 of the normal student section here tonight for a Noblesville game.
Maybe because of the Thanksgiving break, but you figure that people have traveled back from where they went. Oh, yep. Looks like a little tangle up between Ginther and Salter down there.
Personal foul. Howe. Number 5, Jeff Salter.
Salter picks up his first. Howe now with 4 personals. Miller's with 2.
Plummer into Gremmel. Gremmel's got 4. Plummer's already got 3 assists, and it's 10-6. Noblesville up on Thomas Carr Howe. Long 3 on the way, and no good from Kyle Washington. Rebound to Max Flincham. Pass deflected out of bounds. Got some quick hands out there. Rashawn Rush almost stole the ball, but off his hands and out of bounds. And again,
Another one.
Gremmel, no, short on the layup.
Last time it worked, this time it didn't.
Hopkins strong to the bucket over Mertens. Tony Hopkins has his first pair.
Hopkins went end to end on that one and just kind of zigged and zagged and shaked it and baked it and put it in the hoop.
He kind of resembles the body of now graduate Lance Dollison, but not as tall. Not as tall.
Yeah, no doubt.
Fishers. Mertens drives, little flip in the lane, got it.
Yeah, Mertens with his size and bulk, he's hard to stop.
That ball got deflected from McGuire Plummer and hit the sideline. It's 12-8 Noblesville, 2:52 left. First quarter of play. That's Joe Rush to Kyle Washington now. Rashawn Rush back out. Swiftly moving the ball. Salter drives.
Going to be a block.
Yep, block on Nolan Ginther. Good drive to the hole.
Just didn't quite have those feet planted. Just not quite quick enough to draw the charge. And that'll put Jeff Salter at the line for 2 shots. Salter with 1 free throw already tonight on that 3-point play.
That went off the front of the rim. And we'll see number 3, Jermaine Couch, now in the ball game.
Rashawn Rush getting some rest.
And second one's up and good. 7 points of the 9 for Salter. Gremmel has it. Now to Ginther, right side.
Gremmel almost got caught in the corner there.
Flincham a 3, his first.
7 points for Max Flincham already. He's on pace to outdo himself from Wednesday night.
Tell you what, if he can average 28 points a game all season, that'd be one heck of a senior campaign.
Yes, it would be.
In the corner, Joe Rush, 3, off the mark. Good putback by Salter, no. Now it's Couch, no. Rebound again, Tony Hopkins with another bucket.
3 offensive rebounds there for the Hornets. I'm sure that Brian McCauley is not going to be happy about that.
That second, third, and fourth chance there, that's not good. Flincham drives baseline, switch.
Got it again. Points 8 and 9 already with 1:40 in the first quarter. A long 3 on the way.
Salter up top, and that is Hopkins with the big rebound. Ginther picks up the loose ball. Mertens. Oh. Going to be a foul on Ginther. As we see Joe Rush clapping.
That had to be away from the ball because I didn't see anything happen there.
Yep, that is on Ginther, his second already.
It looked like to me like the Hornets were going to pick up the foul right in front of their bench there, but when they whistled Nolan Ginther, I'm going to go, oh, okay.
That'll bring Ryan Barnes off the pine.
No loss in size with Barnes coming in, both of them being 6'4".
Three on the way there by Couch. Gets the bottom of the net. Corby Mertens with the board. And Noblesville up 6, under a minute to play first quarter. Washington all over Plummer. Now it's Gremmel. Trying to drive, looks, back out to Plummer.
Will the Millers just hold it for one here, Craig?
You would think they would try and spread it out, but if they find a seam in this defense, they may do. Plummer trying to back his defender off or back the offense off.
The Hornets playing a man-to-man here for the most part, and they are quick enough to make that man-to-man work.
That may exhaust them. We're down to 15 seconds here in the first. Plummer's got it. Now they'll run something. Oh, and that didn't work because
now there's going to be a foul call there with 5.7 left. That's going to go against Howe.
It's going to be on Joe Rush, number 1, his first. 5 fouls already on the Hornets. And Mertens will inbound at midcourt across the way.
5.7 from midcourt.
.5 left, half a second left, and that's off the foot of McGuire Plummer.
Just barely enough for a toss and shoot.
Yeah.
They're not going to make it from the baseline. That's the end of the first quarter with the Millers leading the Hornets 17-11. We'll be back after this on Hometown Sports.
The IHSAA, in partnership with Blue Frame Technology, is pleased to announce that you can now watch your favorite IHSAA sports on the all-new IHSAA TV Apple TV app. Watch live or search through thousands of archived broadcasts. Have an older Apple TV? You can still watch on your TV by going to AirPlay on your iOS device and choosing Apple TV. Download the new Apple TV app now in the Apple TV App Store.
I'm Brad Silbert along with Craig Atkins here at Noblesville High School at the Mills. 17-11 in favor of the Millers, Craig. Kind of what we talked about before the game.
Yeah, it was one of those, Noblesville just had to adjust to the speed of and play their own game, I guess, at the hands of Howe, because Howe's going to be quick no matter what kind of defense they play. And I think, like you said, man-to-man defense against what Noblesville's doing is probably not going to work. They may have to switch it up here in the next couple quarters, or at least the second quarter, to try and keep themselves in this ball game. They're only half a dozen down right now, but
not only keep themselves in the ball game, but to keep the players in the ball game, because that man-to-man, as fast as this game is nowadays, the old Bob Knight man-to-man defense just is not as effective as the zone is.
Yep, we're back to it here in quarter number 2. Craig Atkins with Brad Silbert. Glad you've joined us tonight. We got a little away from the ball action for a foul, and that is number 1. Joe Rush, Jr.
He gets his second.
That's 6 fouls on the Hornets.
Yeah, 6 on the Hornets. So the Millers, for every foul, will be shooting from this point to the end of the half.
Looking for the back door, and he has it again
the
leg of Joe Rush, who was right there, almost right behind the footsteps of Max Flincham, but Max had a little bit of a beat on him.
Rush had an easy layup there. It's fortunate for the Millers that it went off a Hornet.
Plummer to inbound. Left baseline jumper. Ryan Barnes is good. And that's already 5 assists at the hands of McGuire Plummer.
Ryan Barnes gets his first field goal of his Miller basketball career.
Yep, I believe he had 1 for 2 in the free throw category the other night. And
that's what it was.
Xavier Hines making his first appearance of the night, the 6'3" sophomore. Kind of combo guard, if you will. Gives Mertens a little breather. Coach McCauley shouts the instruction of Plummer, and here the Millers come back on offense. Set up 3, no, by Max Flincham. The rebound, that is the Tony Hopkins, and back comes Howe the other way. In the corner, it's Washington. Kyle Washington looks back out the couch.
One of the things, the transition game so far tonight, Craig, the Millers have been doing a really good job of getting back and not giving Howe too many transition points, getting back in that 2-3 zone.
That's why it'll be interesting already next Friday night here at the Mill. It's going to be Fishers coming to visit Noblesville, and conference season already starting for Noblesville. And the Fishers Tigers earlier than normal it seems like, but no better time than then to get yourself into conference mode. Inbound to the backcourt to Joe Rush. Now in the game is number 4, Brandon Bellamy. Jumper's good by Tony Hopkins. He's got 6.
Hopkins and Rashawn Rush, have accounted for all of the Hornet points so far tonight.
Plummer back the other way, looking to Hines, right side. Ooh, almost stolen there by Couch, and it's deflected away. Gremmel will get charged for a reach-in foul there.
I think that's a frustration foul that's going to be going against Grant. He picks up his second. 15 foul.
You could see his reaction off that because he kind of stood there like, man, I shouldn't have done that. These kids kind of have to think, hey, just because the ball gets deflected away doesn't mean I have to react a certain way. So Mertens will come back in to replace Gremmel. He and Ginther both on the bench with 2 fouls here, 2 minutes into the second quarter. Couch drives back out. Now it's Hopkins inside of the three-point line. Got it. Right over Xavier Hines. And Hopkins has 8 points on 4 field goals, and it's down to a 4-point Noblesville lead. Plummer. They've got Flincham trapped in the corner, does Joe Rush, and there's a reach-in on Rush. Rush looks kind of frustrated because that's his 3rd foul, or surprised, really.
Number 1, Joe Rush Jr.
That'll be 17 fouls, and Rush has 3 of those.
Incidentally, Joe Rush Sr. is one of Mosey Barnes' assistants on this team.
It's good he can keep his boys under wraps there. Flincham will be at the line for the 1-and-1. I'd say who better than Flincham as he's steady Eddie from the free throw line.
Almost automatic.
Yeah. It's kind of like when John Stockton used to make 96% or Mark Price back in the day.
Him or Reggie Miller.
Yep.
Some of the great free throw shooters that we've seen.
Not like a Shaq or a DeAndre Jordan these days. Or they're just bricking the ball off the back of the iron. Yeah. 21-15, Noblesville, 5:20 left here in the first half. Floating it around the perimeter, trying to find a good shot, and off the mark. Flinching the rebound back the other way, slows up. He double dribbled. He thought he was going to get away with that one a little bit, not make it so obvious. And
he had me tricked.
Yeah, I that wasn't the most obvious double dribble.
But the referee had a much better look at it than we did with us at his back from our vantage point here at the end of the court. Just under 5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter.
Hopkins. Now it's left side to Sulzer. Back out to Hopkins. In the corner, Couch for 3. No. Skying for the board is Hopkins. Up off the board, no, and he gets fouled. It's either Hines or Barnes on the foul.
Either case, Hopkins is going to shoot 2.
Yep, that's Ryan Barnes' first personal. That'll get Tony Hopkins at the free throw stripe.
6th foul on the Millers. So both teams will be in the bonus.
Off the front of the iron and no for the first attempt by Hopkins.
Hopkins and Sulzer still the only 2 who have scored for the Hornets.
Pair of juniors. Second attempt up and off the back of the iron. Ginther the board. And Plummer's got it across the timeline now.
Nolan Ginther showing some of his senior leadership out there on the floor.
Xavier Hines tries the reverse layup. No. Ginther rebounds. No. And Flincham the rebound. 18-footer. No. Looked like Bellamy lost control, but he gets it to Hopkins. Up off the glass. No. Ginther a rebound. A little sloppy.
About 5 or 6 shots in a row missed there, Craig. Man, oh man.
Not a good stint there. As I think Coach McCauley wants calm. But hey, Corbin Mertens with his first tray of the night. And now it's a 9-point lead for Noblesville, 24-15. Couch pulls up. Nice jumper by Jermaine Couch, and he's got his first points. And the third Howe Hornet scores. Ooh, almost picked off there by
Couch.
Couch.
He was going to take that away.
Plummer has it from Mertens looking. He'll try to drive. Gets past. Now underneath Hines. Good.
Mosey Barnes, he wanted an offensive foul on that. That elbow kind of came out a little bit, but not too bad.
They called probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 arm bars down low today during the Noblesville-Avon girls game. More than you usually see. Under 3 minutes till halftime. Back to a 9-point Noblesville lead. As now we've got Sulzer driving. No, and that's rebounded by Hopkins. Flows into the paint.
Hopkins traveled.
He walked. Back on the court for
Rashawn Rush coming back in.
6-foot senior.
Only one player with any significant foul trouble so far in this game. That's Joe Rush Jr., who is still on the bench with 3. We probably won't see him until the second half.
Underneath, Mertens up and
overshoots
the hoop. Nice pass from Plummer, but rebound back the other way. And that is Washington. Airballs it, and looks like it's off of Mertens' hands.
Yep, going to go to the Hornets.
And Ryan Barnes going to check back in.
Barnes still got that brace on his knee.
Yep, I believe he may still have that by the time football season comes around next fall. Just for precaution, I would say. Inbound to Hopkins. Now it's up top. Washington drives. 12-footer. Got it.
Basket by Kaya Washington.
Washington's first 2 points for the 5'10 sophomore, and it's back to a 7-point Noblesville lead. Under 2 minutes left till half.
There's a 6-point lead after the first quarter, so still very tight.
Hines tries to get it to Mertens, and
Call a jump ball.
Called a jump ball, and the ball was loose.
That one will go to the Hornets. Under a minute and 45 seconds left.
Howe floating it around, and Washington wanted the 3, but Plummer came out to him. Now it's left side.
The Hornets with only 1 3-point goal so far in this game.
Rashawn Russ drives.
That's a block.
Yep, block on Ryan Barnes. That'll be Barnes' second foul as he tried to take the charge right there at the volleyball line.
It's going to be a 2-shot foul for Rashawn Rush.
At the line for Howe, number 10, Rashawn
Rush looking for his first 2 points of his senior campaign.
Once again, Barnes very, very close to getting that charge, but he just wasn't quite set quite quick enough.
This one off the back of the iron, and no.
I like his form on the free throw, though. Nice arch and
Second one up, swished it. 26-20. Howe keeping this one honest. It's 9-9 so far this quarter. At 70 seconds left till halftime. Hines to Mertens. Now back left side, Plummer.
Right at a minute here, we'll have to see if Coach McCauley is wanting his players to hold for one of two things, either an excellent shot or the last shot. Right now it looks like they are not in any hurry to take a shot, Craig. Mertens is going to have to start moving there, otherwise he's going to get called for 5 seconds.
Defenders aren't too far from them. Those kind of try and float the ball around, and hopefully nothing happens like the last time.
30 seconds.
Burton's back out to Flincham. Now Hines and Plummer. Kind of playing that 4 out, 1 in. And there's the foul there on number 4, Brandon Bellamy.
Personal foul on
That'll be a 1-and-1 with Ryan Barnes going to the line.
1-and-1. Ryan Barnes at the line.
20.3 on the clock. Barnes with a 1-and-1 opportunity.
It's like Jermaine Couch back in there, number 3. Barnes off the back of the iron, no. And gets his own rebound. Up off
Puts
the
it up,
glass,
misses.
no.
Ooh.
Back the other way comes Howe. That's Brashawn Rush with 10 seconds. Washington gonna go for the last one. Backs out to half court and looking, driving, and up.
Offensive foul
on Kyle Washington. That'll be 3 on Washington. Not exactly what he had in mind when he drove in. But Barnes, like you said, he got the charge.
He got the feet set that time.
Yep. And he'll come out, Gremmel back in along with Ginther.
This is going to kind of take an alley-oop here. You got 2.3 seconds, which is not impossible to go down the floor, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult for the Millers.
Ginther, the tight end gets a catch.
There's
and
a
he
foul
gets taken
called.
out by Kyle Washington, and that's going to be 4 on Washington here in the first half, Brad.
Wow. That could be big.
Yep, one of your starting guards.
1.2 on the board. Coaches always love this when the clock is stopped and there's an opportunity to score.
And I'm going to venture to guess that Kyle Washington plays some defensive back for
This will be double bonus,
Howe.
too.
Ginther at the line. Makes the first.
Returning for the Millers, number 24.
Hines back in, and looks like Ryan Barnes will check back in as well for the shooter.
Doing the offensive-defensive switch.
1.2 on the clock till half. Ginther makes his third free throw of the night. He's got 5, and it's an 8-point lead, 28-20, with 1.2 until half. And they're going to try and throw it long as well. Long shot over the backboard, and we are at the half. It's Noblesville 28, the Howe Hornets 20. We'll take a break, and we'll come back and recap the first half in just a bit here on Hometown Television.
All have our own story about community.
I truly felt that each doctor, technician, and nurse had the same goal: provide exceptional care and make it simple.
Because of my chronic illness, I have an entire team on my side.
With Community's My Chart, I keep track of everything.
When community says exceptional care, simply deliver it. Those aren't just 4 words at the end of a TV spot.
It's for community patients at the end of a TV spot.
Telling you to believe every word.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. and we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Breast care navigation at Community is a lot like sailing. Navigators have to read the wind without seeing the wind.
The breast care navigator will follow the patient and their family through the continuum of care.
My nurse navigator was always there
just to be an advocate for that patient.
You need the biggest support system that you can, and to know that you have one other person there who can help you through it is definitely something that is amazing.
It's halftime at the Mill, where the Noblesville Millers are ahead of the Howe Hornets 28-20. We'd like to remind you that Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when the patients need them. With any questions, you can contact Community Health at 317-355-757. Correction, let's make that 355-7775. Or check out their website, www.ecommunityhealth.com. And fans, remember, from personal injury claims to complex business litigations or even divorce cases, Church, Hiddle, and Antrim protect the rights of individuals, businesses, schools, and government bodies all over Indiana, including Noblesville, Fishers, Merrillville, and Tipton. You can contact their Noblesville office at 317-773-5320 or visit their website, www.cchalaw.com. Perry, we're about 3 minutes away from the second half, and it's been an interesting first half here, probably maybe a little bit closer than what we had anticipated, but Howe seems to be keeping up with the Millers, but the other thing that's happening here is the Millers, very, very stingy 2-3 defense is really keeping the Hornets from getting inside.
Yeah, it's keeping Howe from doing, I think, what they think they normally should be able to, and it's obviously helping Noblesville keep, at least a 6, 7, 8 point lead for most of this first half so far, and it's kind of giving them liberty to do what they want to do on offense because they've got that kind of cushion from their defense, so it's worked out both ways for Noblesville. Now Howe's going to try, and who knows, they may have drawn something up at halftime to try and switch things up defensively just because, it's obviously not working the best, and man-to-man may exhaust them.
It doesn't get any easier for either of these teams coming up in the next few games after the opening season game here with the Millers. The Hornets entertain Indianapolis Cathedral. Then they go to Eastern Hancock, and then they are at Lawrence Central, while the Noblesville Millers, they have a home game against Fishers coming up on Friday night, and then a week from Friday it is Carmel, and a week from next Saturday it is Anderson. So the Millers have got some tough games ahead of them.
Yeah, the next few games after this tough because obviously, like we said earlier, starting conference play in 6 days from tonight, and then a week later on the 9th hosting Carmel, which the rivalry with Carmel and Noblesville in basketball is just, every year it's a duke-it-out affair, and it should be interesting. Of course, that game may be moved because I'm not sure how many Carmel football players also play basketball. I'm not sure how, Coach Hetty, if he's one of those coaches who he frowns upon that, but I think there's some, which there may be enough to field a team, who knows, or if they have to back off some games and reschedule. But going Fishers, Carmel, and Anderson in consecutive games. Of course, the big liberty about that, Noblesville has them all at the Mill here.
Yeah, and the Fishers Tigers under Joe Leonard, that's a team that can be very, very dangerous. They are a threat. Joe usually has them really hustling and moving, and Anderson, throughout the years, just the great history there. That's always a good rivalry, in Carmel. So they've got 3 or 4 really, really good games coming up here, and we're going to have some of those games coming up here for you this week. Wednesday night, we'll be back here at the Mill. I will be here with, I believe, Perry Williams, and we'll have the Hamilton Southeastern Girls Noblesville. Next week on Friday, it will be Fishers at Noblesville. Next week on Saturday, we will be at Hamilton Heights for Guerin in Hamilton Heights, and we're ready for action. And here's Craig.
Noblesville basketball to start the second half of play. Craig Atkins with Brad Silbert. Glad you've joined us, and Plummer calls out. Looks like Max Flincham will run the point with Joe Rush Jr. on him. Going to stand up because we've got this nice railing in front of us. And down low, they get it to Nolan Ginther. Nope.
No shot.
On the floor before. Good pass by Plummer, though, as Ginther gets fouled and the ball will be taken out underneath.
Personal foul. Foul number 23, Tyler Pinnell.
Pinnell picks up his first, an early first on the team. Nice block there.
Hopkins gets the rebound off the block and scores his 10th point of the ball game. He leads Howe with 10, and it's back to a half dozen at 28-22, 30 seconds into
the Hornets staying in that man-to-man defense, Craig. Miller's being very patient.
Kind of that bend, don't break as Gremmel gets kind of reckless through the lane, and
Miller's get a break, and they get the ball right back.
Gremmel with his third bucket.
That was Gremmel? Okay.
Yep, Gremmel, and the 7th assist by McGuire Plummer. Doing what he does best is dish the ball, and it's back to an 8-point Noblesville lead. Yeah, that was kind of a bull through a china shot by Gremmel.
Yes, it was.
And it turned out in his favor because the pass by Howe was in the back of, I believe, Jermaine Couch, and he didn't realize it at midcourt, and Flincham grabs it to Plummer and down low to Gremmel for a layup. It's another Howe turnover. Haven't been many turnovers. I believe that's 7 for the Hornets.
That one's going to be a shooting foul that Grant Gremmel will go to the line for.
Personal foul, Howe, number 5, Jeff Sulzer.
Sulzer picks up his second on the team.
2
shots for Grant Gremmel.
Gremmel, his 7th point of the ball game.
Gremmel is one of 4 sophomores on Brian McCauley's team this year.
Shot, second free throw, no good as he makes 1 of 2. And it's back to a 9-point Noblesville lead. Lead hasn't grown bigger than 9 points.
Joe Rush Jr. is in there for the Hornets. He's playing with 4 fouls. Nice little jumper there.
Hopkins, the 6'4 junior.
I got him for 12 now.
Yep. Got a dozen points, half of Howe's points. And this could be a game where Howe's going to be able to keep it underneath. A nice pass from Plummer to Ginther, and Ginther with his second bucket. He's got 7. Check that, 6. And maybe a little off.
I've got him with 8. The scoreboard's got him with 6.
Hopefully somebody's right tonight. And Plummer the rope. Nope. Ball into the hands of Ginther. He has 6 rebounds. Flincham, right corner 3. Off the back of the iron. No. Clear out by Gremmel, and that's going to be his 3rd.
Personal foul, Noblesville, 42, Grant Gremmel. Substitution, Noblesville, number 45, Ryan Barnes.
Ryan Barnes back in there for Noblesville. 33-24 at the 5-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Baseline jumper, no. That was by Sulzer. Ball's going to stay with Howe off the hands of Ryan Barnes.
I think one of those buckets that we gave to Ginther earlier went to somewhere else, Craig. I think that's where our error is.
I think it looks like I've got him for 6, but I think one of my free throws looks like it's a make, but it's a miss.
Mm-hmm.
So he missed his first 2 free throws, I believe. That's another Howe turnover. They've got 8.
The scoreboard has got him for 6.
It looks like two baskets and 2 of 4 at the free throw line to make his 6, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bad pass from Mertens on the baseline back to Barnes and stolen by Joe Rush and off the glass. No. We got a foul by Plummer, it looks like, and that'll be number 2 on McGuire.
First to foul, Noblesville, number 23, Brian Plummer.
2 fouls on each of the teams early here in the third quarter.
At the line, number 1, Joe Rush.
Joe Rush goes to the line.
And he gets this one over the front of the iron for his first point of the ball game.
I must correct myself here. I thought earlier, I know I said this, I said Joe Rush had 4 fouls. He has only got 3. I was thinking of
Washington, yeah.
Kyle Washington.
We may not see Kyle Washington up, but we are seeing for the first time Tyler Pinnell, 23 out there, as the second free throw is good by Mr. Rush Jr. And
what are they going to call? Ginther gets the basket.
Good bucket. Foul's going to be on number 11, Tony Hopkins. That's 2 on Hopkins.
Count the basket for Nolan Ginther. He has 1 shot.
Well, I'm going to go with what the scoreboard says, so I've got Ginther now with 8.
Yep.
Possibly 9.
Makes this
Bingo.
one, that is 9. He's 3 out of 5. And it's 36-26, Noblesville's biggest lead so far here with 4:15 left in the third quarter. And, going to be an offensive foul charge.
Good shot.
Jeff Seltzer.
Ryan Barnes, he ended up getting his feet planted in plenty of time and drew the charge.
And speaking of Kyle Washington, he checks back in for Jeff Seltzer.
Washington playing with 4 fouls. That's
awful gutsy.
Well, at this point of the game, Craig, you wonder if what Mosey Barnes isn't thinking, I got to get something going here. Let's put him in and see what he can do.
Maybe he'll kind of keep his hands out of the cookie jar, if you will. Down low, flinch him to Barnes. Barnes makes a move. Hopkins, no. Short on the layup, and Ginther,
Ginther's going to pick that one up. He went right over the back of Tyler Pinnell.
Pops the head on, gets the top of the head of Tyler Pinnell.
Number 40, Nolan Ginther.
That'll be 3 on Ginther, and the third Noblesville foul of this half.
Also in for the Millers, number 10,
Rico Duncan making his first appearance of the night for Noblesville. Washington now to Joe Rush. Rashawn Rush. Three-pointer on the way from Joe Rush. Got it.
3-point basket, number 1, Joe Rush.
And Mosey Barnes called a full timeout. Game back within 7.
Fan Smith Jewelers has been serving Hamilton County, including Noblesville, Fishers, Westfield, and Carmel, for over 65 years. Many jewelry stores have come and gone, yet Smith's remains. If one were to ask how and why, the answer simply would be their outstanding jewelry selection and customer service. The knowledgeable staff at Smith's Jewelers is eager to give you, our customers, a memorable and positive experience. Contact them, 317-773-3383, or visit them online at www.smithsonthesquare.com. Greg, we're 3.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter on what was a 8-point game at the half and a 7-point game right now, so not much has really changed.
Not much has really changed, and Howe still sticking with that man-to-man defense, and that may be something that worked for them all throughout last season's 2A state tournament run, so they're going to stick with it despite this being different personnel out there. They're sticking right with Noblesville and keeping them kind of within reach. So back out of the timeout called by Howe. And Duncan gets it into Plummer. Rico with his first action of the night. So it's Hines, Mertens, Barnes, Duncan, and Plummer for Noblesville.
The Hornets still sticking to the man-to-man defense.
Duncan up top, tries to shake Rashawn Rush. Now it's Hines. Duncan almost gets the ball stolen on the mismatch by Tony Hopkins. Oh, ball tipped and out of the reach of Mertens and off of Mertens' leg. Good play on the ball there by Rashawn Rush. And that'll bring Max Flincham in from where he was sitting by the scores table. See a big possession there on defense for the Howe Hornets, as they're going to try and chip away at this Noblesville 7-point lead.
The Millers maintaining the 2-3 zone.
Rush, another three. Joe Rush, his second. And it's down to a 4-point lead.
8 points for Rush, all of them in this quarter. And the Millers end up taking a timeout. Say, Craig, let's talk a little bit about our friend Mark Hairbrandt, our county commissioner in District 3. I know he's been involved in a lot of different projects with the city of Fishers, Noblesville, state of Indiana, and that especially trying to get those improvements on State Road 37 done, and something that is long overdue. But he's really been a pretty active guy, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's trying to make that flow of traffic coming down 69 and getting into what we call the bottleneck, if you will. That a lot of people kind of complain about, if they have to make that morning commute to head to downtown Indianapolis for their daily work commute, and he's trying to make it a little easier, and especially with that 106th Street overpass, that's going to make things easier for what they're going to be building soon with that new IKEA off of 106th Street. So it's interesting. We see all kinds of roundabouts going in throughout the county, and it just makes things so much easier to maneuver yourself from one side of Hamilton County to the other.
Well, in addition to what he's working on already, he's obtained over $55 million in federal grants for many, many road improvements in Hamilton County. That's County Commissioner Mark Hairbrandt.
Back out of the timeout, Noblesville with it. Full court press by the Hornets. And Noblesville breaks that, and they'll set up in their half-court offense.
I think that's the first time we've seen that tonight, Craig.
Yeah. Kind of looking for the back door. Flincham reverse layup. Got it from McGuire Plummer. He's got 9 assists, and that's 13 points out of Max Flincham to lead Noblesville and all scorers. Rush, another three from the left wing. That's his spot, it looks like. And a big offensive rebound by Tony Hopkins.
From our angle, I thought that was going to go in, but it ended up being just a little bit short.
Had the same look of the first two that went in.
Yep, it sure did.
Ooh, almost past Kyle Washington's hands, but quick pause there by Washington. Now it's for Rashawn Rush with Max Flincham on him. Looking for the best shot, and Rashawn Rush drives. Now it's back to a 4-point lead. As Rush has his first field goal, and he's got 3 points. 1:10 left third quarter. Hines to Flincham. Right side three, no. Rebound Rashawn Rush. Xavier Hines kind of faded off of that because that would have been a foul if he'd tried to defend that.
For a 6-foot guard, Rush sure gets up there high, doesn't he?
Yeah. Rashawn has it. Now it's Joe Rush. Looks like Howe may try and play for one last shot here in the third quarter. Kyle Washington played a little conservative, but he played good defense with those 4 fouls here in the third quarter. Howe is looking for the final shot, with Noblesville staying in that 2-3 zone. Now a 10. They'll start the run of play. Back the other way, left side. Driving, back out, Joe Rush, three. No. Off the mark. Nope, that is in. Kyle Washington.
That's the end of the third quarter here at the Mill. Miller's hanging in there, 38-36. We'll be back after this message.
The IHSAA, in partnership with Blue Frame Technology, is pleased to announce that you can now watch your favorite IHSAA sports on the all-new IHSAA TV Apple TV app. Watch live or search through thousands of archived broadcasts. Have an older Apple TV? You can still watch on your TV by going to AirPlay on your iOS device and choosing Apple TV. Download the new Apple TV app now in the Apple TV App Store.
Along with Craig Atkins here at the Mill. Craig, what a turn of events there in the third quarter. The Millers score 10 points, but the Hornets score 16 to make it to a 2-point deficit.
Yep, Noblesville heading to the fourth quarter with a 2-point lead, and this is obviously a team that Noblesville just can't, they can't look past the Fishers because they are the defending 2A state runner-up. And I personally believe that just because it was in Class 2A, that means nothing.
Exactly.
That means nothing.
Well, the difference in the third quarter has been Joe Rush Jr. He's got 8 points, all of them coming in the third quarter.
So back to it in the fourth quarter. Howe with the basketball first. Rashawn Rush. Joe Rush. Jeff Sulzer, Kyle Washington, and Tony Hopkins. 2 on the way, no. Long 2. Rebound to Mertens.
The Millers just need to kind of take their time, set this thing up, and get some points on the board here and extend this lead again.
Defense is not letting up from the Howe Hornets, to say the least, because now the pass deflected.
That's going to go on Mertens.
Yep, Mertens, a frustration foul after the ball gets deflected away by Jeff Seltzer. And that's going to be turned over back to the Howe Hornets with a chance to tie or take the lead.
Mertens with only his first foul.
Barnes will check back in, replacing
4 fouls on each team now.
So it's Kyle Washington to Joe Rush.
Washington, the one playing with 4 fouls.
3 in the corner, Rashawn Rush, no. Rebound to Flincham. Now it's Corby Mertens. Max Flincham looked, thought he had the back door. Would have been a crossover pass for Mertens. Looking. Now it's Gremmel up top.
The Millers are having a hard time finding a man open with this one-on-one defense.
Yep, and the long outreached arms of these Howe defenders isn't helping any. Gremmel dips it to Ginther, tries to spin, now down to Barnes, up, off the glass and in. Good pass from Ginther to Barnes, and Barnes with his second field goal. He's got 4 points, and it's back to a 4-point Noblesville lead.
A little under 6 minutes remaining in this one in regulation.
Yeah, they just need to get some stops on defense, but Howe looks pretty relentless to do something on offense. Like a Joe Rush 3 again. No good. Rebound to Gremmel.
Well, as long as the Millers can force them into taking that 3-point shot and the Hornets don't get hot from the 3-point line, they'll be fine.
And it's going to be another
offensive
foul on Ginther. That'll be 4 on Nolan Ginther.
Personal foul, Noblesville, number 40.
It's like another clear out. And the refs aren't putting up with that at all tonight.
They are not.
McGuire Plummer returns to the Millers.
Ginther looks frustrated, but he's trying to, whether he's trying to block out, and it's not, not working with the way that Hopkins is guarding him. and it turns into a clear out, or he's just clearing out. We're not sure which. But Howe's got the ball back the other way. Trying to cut back into this. Kyle Washington with a 3. Got it. And it's back to a 1-point deficit for Howe. Washington has 7.
Well, that's the danger, that 2-3 zone that if you start hitting from the outside.
Ooh, Gremmel almost had the ball stolen. It's deflected out of bounds from Kyle Washington.
Washington is not really playing like he's got 4 fouls on him, Craig. I mean,
No.
he's I'm not saying he's reckless, but he is not he's not being very cautious, let's put it that way.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, it's almost like he doesn't care that he's got 4. He's going to do whatever it takes to get the ball or deflect the ball or whatever it takes. Rashawn Rush with that foul. That's his first.
5 on each team now.
Right now for the Hornets, there are 11 fouls on the court. And this is a good test for Noblesville. Gremmel, blocking foul on Tony Hopkins. That'll be 3 on Hopkins, sending Grant Gremmel to the free throw line. That's good initiative out of the sophomore.
Well, right now the Hornets have got 1 player with 4 fouls and 3 players with 3 fouls. So they're getting themselves into a little bit of foul trouble here.
Well, they really haven't gone that deep off their bench. Really, they've played Jermaine Couch and Brandon Bellamy and Tyler Pinnell. So they've gone 3 deep off the bench as Gremmel misses that first free throw. He's 1 out of 3 from the line. Makes the second. Gremmel's got 7 points. Check that 8. 3 off, didn't I?
Yes, you did. I was figuring to look out the scoreboard.
We've thrown ourselves off, and they threw us off. Corner, 3-pointer, left side. Good by number 10. That's Rashawn Rush. And it's 42-41 Howe. With 4:10 left here in the fourth quarter. Plummer gets the back door up, off the glass, and in. No good.
Oh, boy.
Rolls over the hoop and off, but Flincham will shoot a pair. That's Hopkins' 4th.
So that is the second Hornet that has got 4 fouls. The other one being Kaya Washington. Max Flincham to the line for 2.
Flincham makes the first. There's one positive in my day of sports. Notre Dame played Chicago State in basketball and won by 31. Men's.
When you said Notre Dame, I thought, what is he talking about?
Flincham makes both free throws. He's 6 out of 6 at the charity stripe. And he's up to 15 points. Of course, you never know with me sometimes. Rebound off miss by Ryan Barnes.
Miller's with a 1-point lead. 3:40 on the clock. This is where I think Brian McCauley is really counting on Max Flincham to come ahead. My.
Gremmel with a good look, but it goes hard off the glass, just like Flincham's did on that previous possession. And no good. Rebound to Howe. Noblesville trying to secure this 1-point lead with 3:10 until, dare I say, the end of regulation.
Well, the Hornets not in any big hurry now. Craig with a 1-point deficit. Try a 3 and miss. And that is tipped twice. And finally, there's going to be a foul called. And I think that's going to go on. Looks like it's going on Ryan Barnes.
45, Ryan Barnes on the foul.
Will not be a shooting foul yet. Next time around, both teams are in the 1-1.
Ginther comes back in with his 4 fouls. but they could use his defense here in the final 3. And now in the corner, it's Washington. Howe looking to be methodical here as they're trying to dice through this Noblesville defense, or they may check up another 3, who knows, but Mosey Barnes wants to talk about it.
Fans, you know, Logan Street Signs and Banners specializes in last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. Contact them at 317-773-7200 or visit their website at www.loganstreetsigns.com. And let me remind you that there is no job too big or too small for Indiana Restoration Services. Whether you're a homeowner or a large business experiencing water, fire, or storm, or just a homeowner who needs a good carpet cleaning, Indiana Restoration has you covered. Contact them at 317-766-9942. Visit them online, www.indianarestoration.com. 2 minutes, 43 seconds left in this one. The Millers just barely hanging on with a 1-point lead, and I think both of the coaches may have been playing a little cat and mouse game there. Okay, who's going to call the first timeout? Well, you know, Mosey Barnes had already used 2 timeouts, but he ended up using it, and he's only got 2 left.
Yep.
Now, whether that'll make a difference on down the line here, but I was just a little bit surprised that there hadn't been a timeout called a little bit sooner to try to, number one, calm the players down, and number 2, set some plays.
Yeah, because it looked like they were just kind of floating the ball around the perimeter, trying to find gaps in that Noblesville 2-3 zone, and nothing was working, so that's when Mosey called a timeout. Now they're back out of it. 2:38 left in the fourth quarter. Down the middle, Salter, no. And pass down low is deflected by Grant Gremmel, rebounded by Ginther, and back comes Noblesville the other way. Trying to add to this 1-point lead. I think they knew they were going to have their hands full tonight, more so than they did Wednesday night against Northwest.
I think Brian McCauley was probably telling them, guys, take your time. You've got a lead. Look for a good shot.
And they're in the bonus.
Don't make any mistakes. And you've got several players on the Hornets who are in foul trouble.
Yep, we're down under 2 minutes left. Fourth quarter, Mertens from Gremmel, back out. Out of Plummer as he streaks baseline.
Earlier in the game, Mertens would have just turned around and taken that shot.
Yep.
But he wasn't sure what he had behind him.
Yep, and now it's going to be on Joe Rush Jr. That'll be 4 on Joe.
4 on him. That'll be 1, 2, 3 players on the Hornets with 4 fouls.
You know, if somebody like Joe Rush or Kyle Washington or Tony Hopkins, if any of those 3 that have 4 fouls out.
That's big.
That's big because, like I said earlier, they haven't gone deep into their bench. They've only gone 3 deep.
Mm-hmm.
Now Mertens will be at the line with a 1-on-1 chance. Rattles that one home, and he's got 6 points. We'll match that up with the video board up there. Mertens with 1 more to come. And that one's up and good, and it's back to a 3-point Noblesville lead. He's got 7 points, 1:36 left, fourth quarter. Makes you wonder if Howe's going to try and tie it, or if they're going to play small ball and try and get it down in low. 3-pointer on the way from Salter. No. Rebound to Flincham. And this may be a point where Howe will start to foul. Well, can they foul?
Yeah, they can't. They really can't afford to foul at this point.
It's pick and choose because the guy on Plummer, Rush has 4 fouls. Flincham, reverse layup. Good.
Great move by Max Flincham. 17 points for him.
That's 10 assists now for McGuire Plummer. He really knows how to distribute the ball to his teammates.
You know, Craig, I need to. Are we having a timeout here, I believe? Or not?
Looks like that's kind of getting foiled.
Okay, I was going to mention something here, but I thought we had a timeout, so we will wait. 47-42, 56-1. The arrow in favor of the Millers.
Yep, Howe down 5. It's 47-42. They have the ball across midcourt.
Fouls in favor of the Millers also. with 4 members of the Howe Hornets.
3 on the way from Rashawn Rush. He got it. Now it's a 2-point game. Wow.
Now we get the timeout.
Rush has 2 threes in this quarter.
30-second timeout.
Craig, I don't know if you remember a guy by the name of Bob Chase when you lived in northern Indiana, but Bob was a broadcaster for the Fort Wayne Comets for many, many years. Sadly, Bob passed away Thursday morning, and Bob had a saying when he would do a Comets game. If it was a close game like this, he always referred to it, folks, we got a barn burner going here tonight. And I've got to say, in honor of Bob Chase, one of the greats in the business, and it was an honor for me to know Bob many, many years ago when I lived and worked up in Fort Wayne, just to say in his honor that we've got a real barn burner going here tonight.
You know, and that kind of gives me chills because, you know, coming from starting in AM radio in Elkhart, we could pick up 1190
Wowo.
Yep, and I never grew up watching hockey. I've been to 2 hockey games in my life. Just catching Bob Chase here and there with Comets games. Hats off to the man. He had one great career. Oh, a steal by Howe. That's Joe Rush and up the court. Oh, are we going to have a jump ball? Nope.
He travels.
He rolled.
Wow. He rolled. Yes.
He rolled with the ball.
He was trying to get the timeout.
Yep. Rashawn Rush rolled a little bit.
Now they're giving him the timeout. They are giving him the timeout
because technically,
you talk about WOWO or WOWO. One of the stories I used to hear was Mike Aruzzioni played for a team called the Toledo Blades years ago in the IHL. Mike was part of the Dream Team that won the gold medal at Lake Placid. Mike's family is from Boston. Whenever Boston and Toledo, whenever Toledo would play Fort Wayne, Mike Aruzzioni's family was able to listen to the game because of the power of WOWO radio, which was just fantastic. In fact, my mother and father lived in Sarasota, Florida, and they would call us up and they'd say, "Well, I hear you had some rain the other day." Mom would wake up in the middle of the night and turn on the radio and be listening to the WOWO, and she could tell me what the forecast was. But Bob touched the hearts of many people for over 60 years doing Comet hockey broadcasts, and a legend in his own time, and a nicer man you could not meet. You got something in your hand you want to talk about here.
The Westfield Shamrocks were down at halftime to the Columbus East Olympians, 13-9. And first possession of the third quarter, it's now 16-13 Westfield. As
Go Rocks!
They get the third quarter started. So I
think a lot of people thought that Columbus was just going to have a cakewalk against Westfield, and I said absolutely not.
20 ticks left here. Noblesville up 47-45, and Howe has the ball. Chance to tie or take the lead.
They're going to live and die by the 3.
Rashawn Rush got it. 3. Clock still rolling. Holy cow.
8 seconds.
Plummer. All they need is a 2. Mertens 3. Right wing.
On the way. No good.
And Howe runs away with the win on a 3.
My.
By Rashawn Rush.
Wow. What a finish to this game. What a finish to this game. We'll be back to wrap it up here in a minute after we talk about Noblesville Trophies, and they're offering a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out online, www.noblesvilletrophies.com. Craig, you got to admit, it was an exciting game, but unfortunately, the Millers came up one shot short at the end.
Yeah, you can't say they undersold what Howe was going to bring to the table because they knew Howe was going to play this kind of basketball tonight, and it just honestly, things caught them off guard. They didn't expect Howe to be shooting threes in the second half like they did.
Yeah, they had. I think they had 5 or 6 threes. Six of them in the second half alone. 6
in the second half alone. 3 of those by Rashawn Rush, 2 by his brother Joe Rush in the third quarter, and they outscore the Noblesville Millers, 28-19 in the second half. So, I mean, hats off to Howe coming in here and grabbing a win and starting their season off 1-0. Noblesville drops to 1-1 on the season with Fishers next Friday night.
Well, you know, there's such a thing as a team, and there's such a thing also as a coach. And you and I have come across many of the great coaches in the history of Indiana basketball, Craig. And you take a guy like Mosey Barnes, and I don't care where he goes, he is going to, number one, bring a good system with him, and number two, the man knows how to get the most out of all of his players. And the Millers stuck to the 2-3 zone all evening, and unfortunately, in the end, when the Hornets needed the 3-point goals, they got them, and they were just shooting right over that 2-3 defense. At the beginning of the game, it looked like that 2-3 defense was going to be the thing, and the Millers would wear them out with the Hornets doing their man-to-man defense. But it worked just the opposite in the long term. That man-to-man defense really paid off for the Hornets and left the Millers coming up 1 point short. Yep. Final thoughts on the game.
Final thoughts. I mean, a hard-fought battle, obviously, by both teams, and Howe stuck with that man-to-man defense, and it turned out it worked for them because they outscored Noblesville by 9 points in the second half, and they started shooting the ball better throughout the second half. And like I said, hats off to Mosey Barnes and the Howe Hornets as they got their season started off on the right foot.
They sure did. Well, I'd like to remind all of our viewers that this coming week, in the next 7 days, we've got 3 more games coming up here on Hamilton County Television, Hometown Sports. On Wednesday night, Perry Williams and I will be right back here at Noblesville as Hamilton Southeastern Lady Royals come in to meet the Noblesville Lady Royals. Friday night, it'll be another boys game that, Craig, you will be here for as the Fishers Tigers come here to Noblesville. And then on Saturday, if I can find the place, if I can get there, I'm just teasing. I'll be up at Hamilton Heights as the Hamilton Heights Huskies will be entertaining the Guerin Eagles. That will be a boys game. We'd like to give a special thanks to all our hometown television sponsors that make these broadcasts possible. Those include Ivy Tech, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, Mark Hairbrandt, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, and Indiana Restoration. On behalf of Craig Atkins, I'm Brad Silbert. Final score, once again, the Howe Hornets edging the Noblesville Millers 48-47. Good night.